Hornet Bowl edition of Prep Talk. I'm Patrick Ochs. This is Patrick Magee. We're going to do things a little different this week when we break down maybe the biggest game of the year as far as coast folks are concerned, I think.
I don't think there's any argument.
We have Poplarville hosting East Central in what we've kind of dubbed the Hornet Bowl, kind of low-hanging fruit there, but it's one of those games I think it's had people buzzing, pun intended, for a long time now.
East Central has averaged 57 points over the last 8 games against Class 4A competition. They have 56 points in the first half at South Pike and went on to win 77-32. Tony Brown got in the end zone 8 times. I mean, the numbers are just crazy. He has 42 touchdowns this season after getting 41 last year. 83 touchdowns over the last 2 years. Offensively, I don't see how anybody slows down East Central. I think that, early in the season, some teams kind of got to them. They won 21-0 over Hazelhurst. Biloxi played well against them defensively. But Poplarville, it's a good defensive team. I'm not taking anything away from Poplarville, but East Central is just that good, and that threat of the passing game with Riley Brown and Brad Cumbest makes them that much more tough to defend, because you got to put 2-3 defenders just on him to stop Cumbest, so that takes guys away from the line of scrimmage, and White Green that leaves that offensive line very strong. So, and the thing I get right now is East Central is playing its best football of the season. Can you say the same thing about Poplarville?
Yeah, see, and that's the interesting thing. It sounds kind of funny talking about an undefeated team, but they've really kind of had to work, I think, the last couple of weeks to make it this far, to make it to the 4A South State title game. A couple weeks ago in St. Stanislaus, it was a fumble recovery for a touchdown that kind of flipped the script, so to speak, in the game. And then obviously Purvis gave them a run for their money, at least through the first half. Now they ended up pulling away second half, but it was a close one going into the half. Austin Bolton, star running back for them, has been a little nicked up. I think, supposedly he's back kind of full strength now, and his production has shown. He's been good the last couple of weeks. But, I will say with Poplarville, they're more than just Austin Bolton on offense. They have a good offensive front. And Corey Knight's really picked up the slack. When Austin Bolton kind of went down and was slowed a little bit, he really burst onto the scene. He's had he's eclipsed 100 yards the last couple weeks, 200 yards I think 3 weeks ago. The Stanislaus game had 3 touchdowns. He really he's only a sophomore. He's not a real big guy. He's not real fast, but he has good vision. And he made the analogy. He was just like the holes his offensive line opened up. He was just kind of running through an alleyway there, and he could just see daylight at the end of it. So, he gives them an additional threat. And as Stanislaus coach Jeff Jordan said a couple weeks back, their wing T is a monster. They run it maybe as pure as anybody and as well as anybody. And that's an offense that seems like a lot of teams are kind of going back to now. It's almost like a throwback in vogue this year. Yeah. So while Tony Brown may be the guy getting all the numbers, Austin Bolton's a guy, he's patient, he waits for the crease to open up, and then he's gone. And then they have a nice complementary player with Corey Knight in the backfield. Yeah,
it's a wing T, but it's a lot of different guys get involved in that offense, a lot of different weapons. But I think Jay Beach even describes his offense as finesse, and there's nothing finesse at all about the way East Central plays football, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Avery White, the junior linebacker, has just really put licks on every quarterback. Everybody plays. I mean, if you're watching film as a Poplarville Hornet right now, you're looking at Avery White. It's like, wow, we got to find a way to make sure he doesn't slow us down. And overall, Andrew Seward at safety. Cade Miles might be back at linebacker this week for them. Overall, East Central is a very good defense. Lance Mancuso, the Jefferson Davis head coach, said they're one of the most physical teams they've faced, obviously this year, and really any that he can remember. So East Central defensively is better than Poplarville defensively, and I really see East Central having edge, special teams, kicking game, offense, and on defense. So, but East Central has to go to Poplarville, and Poplarville has a great home field advantage. Their fans get into it. Nobody's more energetic and fired up than the Poplarville fan base. So, going there is going to be a challenge, but East Central is just a juggernaut right now.
Yeah, well, and touching on defense a little bit. You mentioned Brad Cumbest a little bit earlier, Mississippi State commit, 6'5" guy. You don't have 6'5" guys to guard him just kind of all over the place. But Poplarville does have DJ Travis. He's a Division I athlete. He's got an Arkansas State offer. He's that caliber player in the defensive backfield. I'll be curious to see if Poplarville kind of says, okay, here's our best guy, beat him, maybe have another guy slide over the top best they can and try to double team Brad, which is scary because then you're opening things up for other guys. But You know, DJ Travis, he's a versatile athlete. He has good speed. He has good size. He's a strong kid. He might he's going to be their best chance to neutralize Brad Cumbus. Now, in saying that, even if you take Brad out of the game, Tony Brown still rushed for eight touchdowns a week ago. So I'll be curious to see how that plays out. You know, another thing too, and we haven't touched on this yet, but Poplarville's been here before. You know, they made it all the way to state title game last year, lost to Lafayette, but you know they still made the run. They've been there. I'm curious to see how that experience kind of plays into it. You know, definitely Poplarville's going to be hopping on Friday night. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere. You know, fans are going to have to show up early.
Yeah, and we'll see you there in Poplarville Friday night. Be sure to keep tabs on sunherald.com for all the live updates. Thanks for watching.